Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you had a good day today, or well, yesterday. It was another good day. A little slower than I like this time, but eh, better than way too busy. um, let's get into what did I wear? Uh, Team Force by Adidas. Tester. Um, Pleasantly surprised by this one, I must say. Let's just get into it. Uh, how I wore it, the four sprays in my moisturizer. One, two, three, four. Uh, One, two, three. Put the shirt on. One, two, three. One in each crank of the elbow. Decent amount, and it performed okay. Like I said, for an Adidas, it was performed okay. But that's not even what surprised me so much. It was more the smell. It was not your typical Adidas smell. Well, let's get into the performance. I got about 4 hours. Slowly creeping into that 5 hour mark. Projected okay for close to an hour, not quite an hour. Not anything beast or anything. Half an arm's length out. So that was the performance. It wasn't too bad. I will say this one lasted on the skin for like probably 8 or 9 hours, but it was just a very faint, straight cedar wood. Do you know what I mean? Like very faint. Like I wouldn't call it performing at that point. It stopped really being able to be smelled without really digging in there at about the 4.5 hour mark. But if you want to count that as performance, then it was an all dayer. I don't. Then, you really. When I say faint, you gotta, like I said, you had to. Oh yeah, there it is. You know what I mean? Like, so nobody's gonna smell it on you unless they get right up on the side of your neck. And who's doing that? Weirdos. So yeah, about the 4.5 hour mark. Cats are fighting upstairs. Let them go at it. So yeah, that was the performance. Really, like I said, it projected for about an hour, a little under an hour. Okay, like I said, half arm's length out type deal. It did leave a good sillage for a couple hours. Every time I'd walk by somebody, I got a couple compliments. Not every time, but when I'd walk by somebody, I got a couple compliments. A couple people doing so. But nothing monstrous or beast or anything. I was pretty close when I walked by them. You know what I mean? So, close enough to be. Oh, excuse me. So it's pretty close. Smell is where it really surprised me. It's not your typical fresh Adidas, super fresh, super sporty Adidas scent. It's got a little more depth to it than that. Not that I don't want to give the assumption or whatever that this is some kind of dark, heavy, dense scent. It's not. It's still fresh, but just not Adidas fresh. You know what I mean? The initial blast, and for the first couple hours, it is this. Well, for the first half hour or so, it's this citrusy, sweet orange citrus, almost an orange juice. Like it's the best way I could describe it. It's like an orange juice, a sweet, like an orange juice you'd give a child. Almost Kool-Aid-esque, sweet fruit juice, orange juice, and and that's for the first half hour or so. Then the sweet orange juice is still there. It's there for a couple hours, but then a bit of a, I don't know. I never looked at the notes, but there's like this almost this slight earthy rhubarb-esque, sweet rhubarb-esque, little earthy, a little green vibe to it. I don't think they're using rhubarb. Rhubarb doesn't get used a lot, and I think it's relatively expensive to use. So I doubt they're using rhubarb. So it's probably just a way a few of the notes are mixing, but they could be using rhubarb. I don't know. Adidas has got plenty of money, so So yeah, it's like still the sweet citrus with a bit of a earthy green rhubarb to it. Just a hint. Again, the main player in this scent is the sweet orange. I know it's orange, has to be orange. But that it's giving it a little bit more of a little bit more depth. And then a little while later, this slight spicy, almost tobacco vibe. Again, very slight, very faint. It's again not the main player, but it does. You don't have to dig for it. You know, like you smell, you hit initially. Again, like I said, you're always going to be hit with that sweet orange juice, but you start picking up on I don't know what kind of spice it is. If there's any spice in it at all, again, it could just be a combination of notes. And same as the tobacco, it could be a leather accord. I don't know. But it is like it's a sweet orange, slightly earthy, slightly spicy with a hint of tobacco. It's the best way I can describe it. And then, like I said, that's about 4.5 hours in, and then the sandalwood starts to come out. And by about the 4.5, 5 hour mark, it's gone. Like I said, there's a slight, so slight scent of sandalwood for a couple hours after that. But I mean, that don't count. So that's it. Compliment factor, like I said, when I got to work, it was still projecting. I got 2 compliments when I got in. It smells nice. That smells nice. You know what I mean? And then when I walked by a couple people, oh, that's nice. That's nice. And then you seen a few people doing so it's there. And not bad for $5. Honestly, I mean, I think it's like 10 or 15 retail. I don't know, but I got it for like 5 or 7 or something like that. I can't remember now. So not bad. I'd wear this one again. This is one of the. I'd wear all the Adidas's again, though. I like Adidas. I've talked about it. I know it's weird because they're a cheap house. They don't last, but they're just nostalgic for me. And I'll get into that when I get to the last Adidas that I'm going to do. But this one I'd wear just on its own, even if it wasn't an Adidas scent. If it was something else, it would be perfectly fine. So, yeah, that's it, guys. That was a day with. Peace, love, be good to each other.